And here we are. It is the decider match of today's group. It is Group A of the second group stage of the Dutch StarCraft League. In the bottom left corner of the map, it is the French Protoss player playing as yellow. It is GenjiTakiya.
And his opponent from the Netherlands, the defending champion of the Dutch StarCraft League, playing for his tournament life here. Give it up for Harstem.
Harstem. Alright. I'm curious to see whether GenjiTakiya is going to continue his reign of cheese.
Yep, it's something that's been very very noticed by our other Dutch player, J-Power. He was a little bit surprised by that. He actually did scout it twice. He scouted it quite early on. He knew what was going on. He responded twice, but he failed to stop it anyway. And that's the kind of cheeses that usually are very scary, Frank. When you scout it and it still works. But Harstem is, no offense to J-Power. J-Power is an excellent player, but Harstem is a little bit more experienced in this, I would say.
Definitely. He is even more so than J-Power. He has devoted a large part of his life to practicing this game. And that is why we love watching players like this, to enjoy the intricacies of their play. Even though I must admit, I fully admit that I can't always fully appreciate their intricacies because I'm not fully aware of exactly what they're doing. If I was, then I'd probably be able to replicate it, or maybe not probably, but I would be trying to replicate it and be a good player myself as well.
Yeah, but I mean, it's gonna be a little bit scary here because this is a very important map. When you take map number 1 in this, these players they haven't played each other before tonight. I think, Frank. I don't think these players met each other that often. And of course, GenjiTakiya played against the winner of the evening, and Harstem played against J-Power, so they haven't met each other tonight. And the player that wins the first map is gonna have a moral victory, and also is gonna have a little bit more options in game number 2. I feel like throwing out a cheese in game number 2 if you're 1-0 ahead. That could really be scary.
Yep, definitely.
I can't stress the importance of this map.
Of course, say your cheese fails, then you might also think, "Oh shit, I had an advantage, then I threw it away with a stupid cheese." So it's always it's a tough call. Going for cheese, that takes balls. I don't think I've ever cheesed, except maybe in some 3v3s where we all decided to go gateways on the other side of the map.
Personally, when I used the ladder a lot, I was actually around the Master League and never any good like D player, but pretty alright. And I usually practice my cheese like once or twice a month, just in case. And also when I got annoyed with the game, I started to cheese a lot. But apart from that, I did prefer the macro game generally. But if I would ever play the same player twice, I would always cheese.
Really?
Yep. That usually you won those games, so that was pretty good. We do have 3 extra gateways being added on by GenjiTakiya, so I think that's something we need to note here, because he already has one.
Oh, he cancels one. Goes for a gas.
That makes more sense to me. 4 gate. I don't know. Could have worked, but there's 2 gateways with
3 stalkers out now.
Yeah, 3 stalkers. That usually does counter it quite good.
1 out. Sorry.
Oh yeah, he has 2 on the way and 1 on the field,
Right.
but 2 gateways, chrono boosting a lot in the thing. Yeah.
Just barely managed to throw down that pylon, but I don't think the pylon's going to do much because with all that damage output here, I think it's going to be taken. Oh wait, I messed up. I thought this stalker was Harstem's. Never mind.
It's getting late, Frank.
It is getting late. It's very hot in my room. I got to tell you that.
It has to be. I mean, with such an awesome caster, it's gonna get a little bit hot in there. But we do have we have been talking for 3 hours, so no offense there. We do see GenjiTakiya is gonna bring a little bit of pressure to Harstem, but it's gonna be hard to break that ramp. Harstem is already in a good position. He's gonna get the first 3 shots up, like you see right here. He can always fall back to his nexus. He has a photon overcharge. I don't feel like GenjiTakiya can really make anything happen here. He doesn't have the resources for it.
That unit control from Harstem, and his warp gate research now finishes 3 warp gates warping in. Actually, only 2. He forgets that. Oh, there we go. The 3rd one comes along as well. So Harstem is going to have enough production to keep up the pressure because GenjiTakiya is also reinforcing off 3 bases, 3 gateways.
And both players are seemingly going for blink play, which does mean that GenjiTakiya is going to have blink about 40 seconds before Harstem. And there's going to be a little bit of a window where he can maybe make something happen, but he won't have the high ground vision because I don't see the mothership core anywhere, if I'm correct. It's not on that side of the field. So that's going to be really hard to blink up anywhere or make anything happen. So it's going to be a little bit dodgy situation. It looks like Harstem is actually bravely pulling out with 2 stalkers there.
Yep, he's trying to poke around, but now he sees nope, time to go back and attacking upper ramp. I think we've seen GenjiTakiya attack upper ramp earlier today against the Zerg player. That didn't work out. Let's see how it works out this time.
There are some zealots that are actually taking the blunt of the damage right here, but there will be a potent overcharge from Harstem. It's engaged right now. It's going to do a lot of damage, and right now the stalker advantage is actually not that big for GenjiTakiya. You know what? He actually has less stalkers. It's 9 against 7 right now, and he has to back off there, and he knows it.
He knows it. Harstem now in a good position. He is now free to expand, I guess. But will he, though? He could also choose to finish his... Actually, he hasn't even started his blink research.
No, he cancelled. He didn't feel like he needed it.
Okay.
So he never got blink, and I think that's an okay call. He's gonna have his robotics facility out a little bit earlier. He can still get blink later on, and GenjiTakiya is gonna have blink, but he won't have the stalkers to really take a huge leap on that.
All right. Making sure not to get supply blocked. Very basic, skill to have. And Harstem is actually expanding now.
Yep, and he has to be a little bit careful here. He only has 30, 40 more seconds, then Blink is going to finish. He doesn't want to have his stalkers on the map. He's going to get unfavorable trades. Because around the same amount of stalkers with Blink will devastate a force like that.
Alright, so Genji is not expanding, but instead is going to pressure again. I mean, at least that's what this pylon is telling me.
Yeah, that could be the case. I'm not sure. He could expand and then start to pressure behind it. Ideally, he wants to cancel Harstem's expand or kill it. And I think he could possibly do that. If the immortal count is 1 or lower, I think he could do it. With the blink, yeah.
Yep, immortal count, how are we at? There's 1 in production right now. Is there 1 already out?
No, it's not gonna be enough. Blink is already done. Blink is done for GenjiTakiya. If Harstem doesn't have blink, it's 100 seconds away. He could make something happen here, but he backs off. And the longer he waits, the harder it's gonna be. It's gonna be an immortal pretty soon. He doesn't know if Harstem has blink. He's gonna try to commit a little bit here. He does pick up 1 stalker. Good job there. He does see that the blink is there. He tries to go for the mothership core. Does get it. Doesn't want to get potent overcharge. He's gonna get some good blink control here. Weakened stalkers are moving to the back and he's trading decently here. But the immortal doing a lot of damage for Harstem right now. This could blink pretty quickly. He has an aggressive blink. Takes out the immortal. He's actually winning decisively here. I feel like right now, but it's still pretty close. 4 stalkers got 4 stalkers, but blink and the mothership core's there as well. It's close here, Frank.
I think Harstem actually shot his own stalker with his immortal there. It's going to be really close.
It's close, but there's no mothership core for either player, so there's not going to be potent overcharge. So if it's just going to be stalkers, there's no immortal on the production right now for Harstem. It's just going to be stalkers. The stalkers with blink are always going to win out. It's still 40 seconds until Harstem's blink is done. He might lose this expansion here.
Dude. Okay, players are both at 24 workers. The supplies are very even, but Harstem still has his Nexus up. If he can somehow defend it, he'd be
in a good spot. He'd be in a good spot. If he defends his Nexus, he's in a good spot. It's gonna be very hard. Blink finish. It's a really big, good thing for Harstem right now. He can start microing his own stalkers. He's doing that. Actually, misplay by Genji chasing that stalker, and good control by Harstem so far.
Yes.
Good control by Genji as well. It's very close right now. He can start targeting the Nexus. All right, good. Harstem gets the better end of that deal.
Wow, that was nail-bitingly close, I'd say.
Yep, that was really close. But Genji, he chased some of the stalkers at the back. He was clicking on the stalkers that were already blinked, and in that he took unfavorable engagements. And right now, if that Nexus does not go down in the next 10 seconds, and it's not, Harstem's gonna take this game, Frank.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I feel like he should. He should look at the supply.
Oh, actually, there we go. GG.